Hey friends, how are you? It is Allison with Fair Roots Farm here. And welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome. It is me and my daughter today. She is eating another mini muffin that I made off screen. So if you hear some cute babbling and chewing, that's her. I also have, because we're in the middle of, honestly, my first blizzard here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I've been here 2 years, actually like 2 years today. And this is like our first like blizzard. Obviously I've had a lot of snow before in the past couple years, but never like a blizzard where they're like, oh, stay off the roads. So I'm actually boiling some water with some lavender. So maybe, I don't know if you can hear a little sizzling, but it's right next to me over here and it smells wonderful, but I'm trying to just bring a little heat and humidity to the kitchen. And my husband's not feeling too well. He woke up with a really sore throat. So making a lot of herbal tea and a lot of tinctures and gonna be some gargling later. So anyway, I digress. I have my two beverages, my green tea and my smoothie that I always have for lunch, which really helps fight off the cold. Thankfully, I have not been sick yet this season, which I say that now and it's like, ooh. But anyway, all right, we are not here to talk about that though. We are here to talk about 2025. 2025 plans for the food forest, aka urban homestead. Oh, okay, so to get into it, I wrote everything down in this notebook that my friend Rachel B, under Rachel B Artwork, I got from her, as well as some beautiful wooden Christmas ornaments and some drawings as well. I highly recommend checking out her art. I knew her when we lived in Tennessee, but I have my list here. So if you see me looking, that is what I'm going to be talking about. And I just have a little more than 10 things, maybe about 10 or 11 things that I will be going through pretty briefly. If you've seen any of my videos, you know I'm just at the whim of my daughter. So we shall see how much she gives me today. Okay, so first one, because we are starting from scratch, this is our first year at this house. We moved in about 6 months ago, and so we are starting everything from scratch. So yes, ma'am. Oh, what is that? She has a rolling pin. So the first thing, sorry for the noise. Oh, there's a little bird in the snowstorm. Oh my goodness. So the first thing that will be going in, sorry, caffeine brain. First thing that will be going in is our raised beds. Maybe not necessarily like first, but this is obviously a high priority because I have started seeds. If you've seen any of my recent videos, I have started some seeds already. We are going to try and plant as many things as we can from seed, mostly because we already have the seed collection and some of the soil. We already have our lights and seed trays from our years of doing this. It really is just the best thing for us right now. The only thing that I am having an issue with right now, just being a stay-at-home mom with my husband working 2 jobs, is not really having the time to up pot a lot of the seedlings that are starting to get a little too big. So I am making that a priority so we have some healthy seedlings for these raised beds. It will be me and my husband doing these. I think his parents are visiting us a few times in the spring and summer, and if they are able to, I might get some help. We have had a few friends reach out who, yes ma'am, who do not have the time to build their own gardens this year. And they also have children. And so they are hoping, their children are older, they're hoping to come over and help us, probably either exchange for just, learning and vegetables and fruit and what have you. So raised beds are definitely going to be one of the main things. I do have a few different type of raised bed plans I'm looking at. But we did want to use raised beds just because of like the teaching aspect, a little bit more off the ground, and it's easier for us to kind of make like a cover because of our short climate here in zone 4-5. So number 2, we have a cattle panel greenhouse that we will be building. I got the plans from Everyday Greenhouse. They have a YouTube channel here. She also has an Instagram, I believe. Her website might be the Everyday Greenhouse, but if you look at her channel on here, she has all her plans, and I bought those because I watched like all of her videos and her Instagram, and it just seemed really feasible for us. Not too time consuming, cattle panels and everything we can get here. And I think it would be really cool to remove the cover during our warmer months, even though it doesn't get too hot here still, And my daughter's feeding the muffin to the dog, of course. But taking that cover off of the cattle panel greenhouse in our late summer and using it as, you know, a trellis. So number 3, this is actually going to be a surprise because my husband surprised me with something. So I'm going to leave it off the list and then maybe make a video. It is on its way. And when I tell you that I'm like, oh my gosh, my husband knows me and just really surprised me. It really, I just, if you have someone who dotes on you, let me just say, yeah, my, side note, my husband was like, you have literally, being a stay-at-home mom, referencing, he's like, you literally have been doing the hardest job that anyone could do, the hardest job you've ever done, and surviving a lot of birth trauma and everything. He's like, you deserve this. So number 3 is a gift that I will be doing a video on as soon as it gets here. Woo! So number 4, we have 2 green stock grow towers. I don't know which ones we have, but they have quite the variety on their website. They're wonderful. I'm a native Tennessean, so I believe they are from Tennessee. They're based in Tennessee, and highly recommend supporting them. I know that they have really taken off. I've seen them in so many people's videos, but they're great because we have a really big porch. Now we're going to use part of our porch for, you know, entertaining. I do want to cook. I love cooking, and I want to, yeah, yes, ma'am. I want to cook a lot for our friends and have them over and their children. Yes, ma'am. You need some help? Would you need some help? Thank you. Did you give all your muffin to her? I bet she did. I bet she didn't eat any of her muffin and gave it all to the dog. Thankfully, the muffin is dog approved and perfectly fine. But the grow towers are just perfect. They, you know, we have a lot of strawberry plants coming whenever they get shipped to us, whenever it's warm enough in our zone for those plants to survive. So I don't know how many strawberries I'll be planting in those, but I really want to do some culinary herbs and some strawberries, things that I can just step right out of my door here and that I need to access quickly, maybe by when I'm making lunch, dinner, breakfast, etc. And I can just pick some basil really fast and I don't have to go out into the yard. Really thinking about the permaculture principle, you know, of your zones 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Actually, I think there's just 5. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mom brain. But you know, those things that you use the most, you want closest to you. So, oh yeah, number 5 I have here is, I kind of mentioned this, our patio furniture. We really want to have a big umbrella. I really want to build some awesome, like, little like grow boxes for the railing, but also having a toddler who will probably be walking. She's almost walking by herself. She's gripping onto things, but having a toddler, yeah, it's just, you know, I'm going to be learning. If you're a mom to a young one, especially for the first time, you're going to be learning right along with me. So I am definitely not that person who's like, I'm going to hide all my mistakes. Like, no, you see me talking with my toddler in the video. That's just how it's going to be. You know what I mean? I'm going to turn off this boiling water real quick. It is almost evaporated. What are you doing, Goober? Oh, you got it. Good job. Got the rolling pin. She's so strong. But the patio furniture, we definitely want to get somewhere for our friends to sit. I don't know if I added this. This kind of includes it, although it's not on the patio, but we do want to, even though our yard isn't ginormous, we do want to have a safe round area for a fire pit as well. I do, because we've been budgeting for all of this the last couple years, because we've always, like, we spend so much time outdoors that we've been really trying to save up so we can get these things, a lot of stuff established in the first year and next year. This has just always been a really big priority. But with that, I do want a fire pit with a grill on top so that I can cook outside, especially for our friends. So the patio furniture and a lot of seating is definitely something with those nice grow towers next to it. Just make it so inviting on our wonderful nights. And we have some pretty cool nights here with warm days. And so, you know, it's nice like sweater weather, but get a lot of good marshmallows, make some s'mores. It's just, I'm so excited for that weather. I can't even tell you. So, oh yeah. So the porch boxes, I already included with the patio furniture. Oh, so this is going to be pretty much the same time as getting up the greenhouse, the raised beds. This is another priority, is when our perennial fruit and nut trees and berry bushes come in. Now, I ordered these months and months and months ago. Like I said, we've been budgeting and trying to plan for everything because we want this year, next year to just be so like, okay, we're ready to go. You know, I haven't been able to garden for a couple years because of everything that's been going on. And so it's a big priority for us. It just is. You know, you sacrifice a lot of things when you have something else in the grand scheme of things planned out, you know? Oh yeah. So yeah, planting all of those edible perennials and getting them really established because of our shorter zone. I want to get them in the ground as soon as possible so that they can establish a really strong root system before our winter hits this next winter. Those plants, you know, because our zone is 4-5, but I really wanted to get them, you know, they're pretty much zoned for zone 3 or 4. I wanted to go a little bit more. I didn't want to kind of tiptoe on, like zone 5 and up. I was like, I want them to get rated for like zone 4 and 3, if I can. Because you never know. Like you never know. Okay, so next one on my list for to do is, so we have 2 compost bins. Both are plastic. One is a rotating one, and one is, I'll show you guys another video, you know, because I compost every day, and which leads to like 1 garbage bag every 2 weeks. So that's another bonus to composting. And I swear, like, we don't make it difficult. It's all food and it's all frozen outside, but we just have our bin under our deck and another bin's outside, but I just use the one under our deck and I just go out our back door and pitch it and I take like 3 steps outside. You know what I mean? Like, don't make it difficult on yourself. I'm going to be collecting leaf bags from everyone I can this spring and bringing it back and probably making multiple compost pits. So the next one on my list is really get our compost going and it just not being food, actually including green and brown matter. Next one, this is a big one. Yes, ma'am. Good job. Next one is our wood chip mushroom pathways. Now, with our perennial fruit and nut trees, I did get 3 different types of mushroom. I don't have that list right now, but I will obviously be documenting a lot of this journey. 1, just for fun, you know, and 2, it's like, if anyone else is doing this alongside us, you know, especially if they're in our zone, heck yeah, if you're focusing on cold hardy. But so we are going to be getting as many free wood chips as we can. I plan to use Chip Drop. I plan to call a lot of our local arborists. So yeah, I'll be looking at Chip Drop. I'll be talking to local arborists, getting as many free wood chips as we can, and then kind of doing a whole hugelkultur type of thing where in the raised beds, we're going to be doing cardboard, which I've been saving ever since we moved in, just saving all our cardboard in the basement or downstairs in my pantry. Just have stacks of like cardboard everywhere, which you got to be careful. We have those in areas where, just in case there are cockroach eggs in the cardboard. I learned that when I worked in the restaurant industry, that cockroaches lay their eggs inside cardboard. So if you can store your cardboard that's somewhere not like, oh my gosh, they're going to get in your house. Like ours are in our garage or like downstairs, like not really in the pantry area. It's more like the utility room, but they can't get to the food. Big point. But yeah, so basically, when we have all the wood chips, we're going to be doing cardboard, wood chips, and then the soil for the raised beds. But the wood chips after that, after we get the raised beds done, because obviously those are priority, getting those plants in for our short season, we're going to be putting wood chips in the pathways in between the raised beds. And then I'm going to inoculate those with these 3 different mushroom types that are, yes, ma'am, I'm almost done, sweetie. You're so patient, that are rated, okay with being used in wood chip pathways. Not all mushrooms will, and they are, like, I forget what all 3 of them are, but I know that one of them is the Garden Giant, which I've used before, and they're very successful. So I'm really excited about that. Hopefully next year, when a lot of this stuff, you know, whatever we don't get done, we don't get done. We're not going to like freak out if we don't. We have a toddler, you know, and I'd love if I got pregnant too. Like, we would love a family, a bigger family, you know. So I'm not going to worry what gets done and what doesn't get done either. Like, it's just is what it is, you know. If you roll with the punches, life, and especially parenthood, is just so much easier. It really is. But one of my big plans I would love is to do the mushroom logs, like under the space under our porch, is stack those up, because I have so many friends who grow a lot of mushrooms, and I really want to make mushroom jerky. But okay, so we have 2 more things on the list. You guys are being so patient. Thank you. So is my daughter. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, so when the raised beds are in, next one on the list I have is the cattle panel trellises. That really took off. I learned about that, I think, in Roots and Refuge video, hers from like years ago. We use those so much. We use so many cattle panel trellises, and also we had them straight up, like supported with T-post in our yard, and grew tomatoes and vining things up those as well. So they don't necessarily have to be trellises. They can also just like be in a line, you know what I mean? But you got to be careful where you place them, or they can really shade out some other plants. But you might need the shade if you live in a hotter climate like we did. I don't need any more. I need all the sun I can get here. Okay, last thing on the list after cattle panel trellises is potentially removing trees. Now, we are pretty lucky, you know what I mean? Like, we're pretty lucky with we get a lot of sunshine in our yard, and a lot of these trees we will be getting this year in the mail, these edible fruit and nut trees and everything that I was talking about. They are going to need a little bit of a windbreak. They're going to need probably a little shade at first, depending on how hot our summers get. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to need that as they get established, maybe for a year or 2. So not really this year, I think, is going to be a priority. We might remove 1 or 2, because we have a lot of like little sugar maples that are either way too close to the house that they need to be removed, that have popped up. And I know there's kind of some just ornamentals that were planted here before. And if you know me, and if you've seen anything, like, I'm just not a really big fan of ornamentals that don't do like that only have maybe like one function. Like, if it's medicinal, cool, you know, and like some of these, it's just like, is this really something that is like, can I replace this, you know, or can I just like turn it into brush, put it in a hugelkultur, and replace it with something that's going to be way more beneficial to the wildlife, beneficial to my family, in my community. Oh yeah? Yes, ma'am. All right. But that, like I just said, just handing my daughter pieces of carrot, like big pieces of carrot that she can feed our dog. And she is. It's just so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay. But that's it. I also have a list of stuff that is like, okay, we need to get that aren't necessarily like chores and stuff on the list. It's more like, okay, these are things we had at our food forest in Tennessee, we don't have now, and we need to budget for. Like, I have like soil, we need a wheelbarrow, we need T-post, we need, like the cattle panels. It's more like, oh boy, you know? So it's a lot of running around. But the good thing is my husband has 2 months off in between his classes that he teaches, and it's right smack in the middle of the early summer. So hopefully, and I think my family's coming up for like a few days in the summer as well. We'll see. But anyway, okay, that is our list. I hope y'all are getting just excited. I hope you were excited about that list, and it got you thinking about what you want to do. What are you doing? Are you excited? Because I am. Are you building a food forest? Oh, yes, ma'am. Okay, my daughter is beckoning me. We're going to go play. But thank you all for listening, and I hope to see you in the next video. I hope you are not experiencing, I mean, if you like snowstorms like I do, maybe you are excited if you have a snowstorm. But if you don't, I hope you're not experiencing a snowstorm. Okay, I'm going to shush, babble, 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 drink my green tea, drink my smoothie, go play with my daughter, and check on my seedlings and get even more excited for this year. Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a beautiful day or evening wherever you are, however you are. Bye.